Nothing. Like
Apparently.
that's a wrap. Bye everyone and bye. Nothing. Like,
welcome everybody to the show.
That's a wrap.
Yeah.
Bye everyone and bye.
That's a wrap. Show's over. Thanks everybody for viewing. Great show.
That's a wrap.
Yeah.
Bye everyone and bye.
That's a wrap. Show's over. Thanks everybody for viewing. Great show. Sorry about that. Sounds off. Woohoo! Getting the feedback.
Okay.
That's our mistake for the day. So hey everybody.
Why are we not going to talk 2 hours about minor changes that CCP made? That's usually what we do.
Because nobody fucking cares. Okay?
Wait,
Let's be clear.
Caleb.
I mean,
Minor or minor?
How about both? Why not both?
There's just so much wrong
Jesus
with both.
Christ, those changes to the whole thing is ridiculous. Even though Arendis did actually applaud the fact that they did something slightly sane, right?
I mean, it's a step in the right
What
direction,
changes?
but like
What
after
changes?
after a marathon the wrong way.
Instead of giving all the mining ships an ore hold, a gas hold, an ice hold, they're just giving them one mining hold. Dawn, that change.
Oh, that's a good change.
Yep,
Right.
That's the
So
smart
the
part.
catch-all.
And it keeps people from saying, okay, so I need to move this shit. I've got a jump freighter and a half worth of crap to move. That's okay. I can just put it in the 3 different holds of my rock wall and go.
Yeah, I know. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, talk about stupid shit that they designed. That was it.
But the numbers still, in my opinion, make no sense. It still feels to me like all these changes are like completely lacking an overall idea or vision or plan.
Of course it is. They're shooting from the hip, dude.
It's like, why are you giving them these some minor changes in capacity that has no meaning? It's like, why are you not like saying, okay, we want to do something with mining. We want this to be X amount of minutes of average yield mining. So you have to move this stuff at X frequency. It's like, why is there no fucking plan on these things?
I would like to say that, to some degree, reacting to players kind of saying that this is bad in this way and this is bad in the other way, and then kind of like turning around and doing changes and making something like what we're talking about here. Yeah, you're shooting from the hip. At least you're shooting the right fucking direction. To some degree, yeah, we might kind of say, you don't have any seem to have any coherent kind of plan for it. We don't. I think maybe we're being a little bit harsh.
No,
maybe
bullshit.
Saying that they should have a fully fledged plan, etc. That this kind of thing fits in nicely too. But the other kind of thing is, if you hadn't have kept that fucking plan that you had for 2 years, like under in sort of a fucking secret place that we could never have critiqued it at all. Like, you might not be in this mess.
What?
Hey,
That's ridiculous.
I know. Sorry. I clearly.
They can't tell us the plan, because if they tell us the plan, we'll know the plan, and they'll have to change the plan.
It's like, can't we have these discussions and maybe help them along the way? Like, what is it you fucking want to do? You can't just sit there and get paid for turning knobs at random. You can hire monkeys or RNG generators to do this shit.
Don't tell them that, because then. Because then
oh shit! Tomorrow, 20% of them will be fired and replaced with monkeys.
Fozzie's literally just going to start to put RNG generators on everything, and then I'm going to hate you. Then I'm going to specifically hate you rather than Fozzie because you gave him the idea.
Hi, I'm CCP.
My idea was to replace him with a monkey. That was literally my idea right now.
I think my idea is just kill Eve already. Just like they're already killing it. Just please. And I feel like I'm that one lady in the slasher flick that's got, she trips and he's got her leg broken and she's still screaming for help, and then fucking.
Is he gonna stab her with an extra long screwdriver?
How did this become a horror show?
I don't. Look,
Because
I was
we
watching a horror
started.
movie this
Christ,
morning.
Mifune, go on and break it. You need your meds or something.
I watched a horror movie this morning. I'm sorry.
Because that got really
See,
fucking
I
dark
think-
very
I think
fast.
the better question here, Caleb, is when did Eve development not be a horror show?
Well, at least it was more like a King novel, right? Like something like Misery, where all the players are in a bed with broken legs.
You know, what if this is just it, and we just have to tell Helmar that we don't fucking fear him, and he'll go away?
Nobody fears Hilmar. Come on. He's just a big teddy bear naked in a hot tub.
Oh,
Don't remind us.
Big teddy bear.
We do need a Helmar like hot tub stream, don't we?
no, we don't.
No. No one needs a Hilmar stream. Nobody cares about him. Nobody even likes him. I mean, nobody, literally. I mean, I don't. Is he married? I bet his wife doesn't like him.
People, no, there's people who like them. People
Really?
who like him. The people who like him are the people who like money. Because he has some, apparently.
Well, he has some money. He makes some money. I mean, there's no doubts.
I mean, that's one of the main reasons why, like, small form crypto kind of entrepreneur groups are basically sort of like, trying to sell their wares to him because he's got money and they want money. Like,
Fine, I will do the segue then. It could be worse. We could be trying to actually play any other game like Final Fantasy or New World, which is completely fucking a joke these days.
like even I'm not playing New World right now, Caleb.
Dude, I heard New World. Like, what happened with that? I heard something happened.
Well, they
Oh,
thought
it
that
was
the fact that their end level
With
game
that.
was grindy and dumb, that they should basically double down on that and make it more grindy and dumb. So that's what's coming soon.
It is one of those ridiculous things where it's like, stop fucking treading water and actually make like legitimately enjoyable content for your end game, rather than just kind of like giving us the sort of run around with, grind, like, additional grindy kind of elements to the end game.
I mean, you look
I
at
honestly-
games like Diablo, and then Diablo is a massive grind fest, and the end game of Diablo is quite literally the same grind fest repeated over and over again, just with higher and higher difficulty.
Well, I'm just getting really, really worried, right? Because it looks like what I have to look forward to next is going to be League of Legends MMO, right? Because everything else out there right now is poop. And after I've just watched that Netflix Arcane series that blew my fucking mind, I guess the next thing is I'm going to go full on Riot Games and start playing that shit instead.
I have a World of Warships question.
No,
go ahead.
hold
You
on.
go,
What's-
Arendis, and then we go.
Like, you're talking about how, oh my god, there's nothing else to play out there and everything I'm gonna have to do with the League of Legends MMO. It's blah 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 blah. Dude, like, Lord of the Rings Online just released a major update.
Oh yeah, Elder Scrolls Online. I just bought that like
The
2
Assault
days
on
ago.
Gundabad.
What's next? What's next? You're going to suggest that I play EQ2? Because that's still a decent game.
Old Republic has an update coming out on the 13th. So I mean, that's like a week and a half, and not even. There's other things to play out there before you have to go and, lower yourself to League of Legends Online, as opposed to League of Legends offline.
Isn't that like the most streamed game?
So what's the thing with League of Legends doesn't come with the fact that it's a bad game. It's by no means a bad game. It's just the people that play it. It has a very, very toxic community. It's a very there's a very high skill ceiling with League of Legends, where it's like, and the matchmaking system in League of Legends is broken. So you could be a completely new player and just have the completely unfortunate luck about being matched up against pros.
Yeah, that's not a matchmaking system. That's just
matchmaker.
That's just
matchmaker.
Right.
Make
But
me
I will
a
say,
match.
if you want to look at what Riot Games has done right, I have been ever since the war ended. I've been playing Valorant, which is their Counter-Strike, their Counter-Strike equivalent.
I'm sorry, but Valorant is basically the most sort of the monetization that Valorant has,
Look, the monetization
fucking like it's almost criminal.
Okay, for those who don't know, in Valorant, basically the way that skins go is that every 24 hours, you get the option to buy 6 different skins, and it changes to 6 different ones after 24 hours. The problem is that there's over 200 something skins. So the skin that you won
and
might
how
not.
much are those skins typically?
The cheapest skins in Valorant go for about $15 to $20.
Okay, yeah, and you get
So-
basically like just.
Can I have a monocle with that?
For that?
And
Yes,
you
like color
yeah,
change
you get-
for that. Like
No, but
holy
you can
crap!
have $1,000 jeans.
I mean, yeah, pretty much. It's a dime a dozen, but it's
fucking insane. Like
it is
genuinely ridiculous.
it
could
is a
be
little
worse.
so it could be worse, but I look
of
past
course, it could be worse.
Yeah.
Jesus
So,
fucking Christ!
ironically,
If that's your yardstick, if
I
your
don't
yardstick
actually-
is it could be worse, then I'm sorry, you have fucking blinkers on, and
I
you don't
don't-
really quite understand the fucking world.
I don't mind it. Honestly, I'm going to be completely honest. I do not mind the Valorant skin market. While
Okay,
overpriced, I will agree. Overpriced, whatever, that's fine. But you don't have to spend your money. It is your choice to spend your money on that. Okay.
But let me give you a different game here that Arendis already mentioned, the Old Republic, where it doesn't matter what you do, the game shoves in your face that.
But that's the thing about Valorant. Valorant doesn't
not
shove it in
spending
your face. Valorant does not shove that down your throat. The only way that Valorant actually gives you, like, oh, buy this, is if you literally click the button that says store in the main menu. That is it.
But seriously,
There's
now you're explaining the result of all the stuff that you've been saying, right? Is basically that the player base of MMOs are like these belligerent, stupid people that keep going into relationships with developer houses that basically abuse them and their wallet. And then it's just a matter of when do they then go to the less abusive option, right? And we are now moving backwards in time. We're basically just being completely fucked over by all the big developers to the point where we are just rolling back.
Caleb, that sounds a whole lot like capitalism.
Well, are we going to make this a political show? Because we could. I would be
Well,
fine with that.
just to point out,
the entire
capitalism
capitalist paradigm.
Capitalism is a form of economics, not politics. Just so you know.
Right. You're just basically describing the entire capitalist paradigm. Anytime you put capital and production in the hands of a small group, that small group is going to become abusive. That's just how that works. Because they're people, and people are shit.
That was the monetary ideologies of Arendis' philosophy.
Yeah.
Are people involved? If so, shit.
But it just feels like I need to play older and older games. It's just I think I'm just going to end up hiding on my PlayStation playing solo games because everything multiplayer these days are just one big capitalist rape fest.
I mean, I've been playing.
I got my
games
Atari
too.
2600. I know where it is. Don't push me.
I mean, I've been playing some old games too. A buddy of mine who's never played an MMO in his life, I'm slowly trying to get him into MMOs, and he didn't want to play WoW. He didn't want to play Star Wars Galaxies. He didn't want to play EverQuest. So at the moment, we're playing Elder Scrolls Online, but I'm trying to lean him towards trying out Star Wars Galaxies.
Not bad. Well,
It's not bad at all.
Galaxies would be difficult.
Galaxies would be difficult, but it would be fun, dude. I loved Galaxies. Until the combat update, of course, when it went to shit. But that's why you play on a private server that has the pre-combat update. But, like, hey, there's nothing wrong with playing old games for a few years. Yeah, the gaming industry fucking sucks right now. But not much we can do about it, honestly.
That's why I really enjoy Latro. Lord of the Rings Online asks nothing from me. as far as
See,
money goes.
what's the difference
I threw
between
them-
Lord of the Rings
I threw them-
Online?
I threw them
I'm curious.
$200 in 2008 for the Moria expansion, and that gets me subscriber benefits for life. So, don't give a shit.
So I'm curious. What's the difference between that and the Elder Scrolls Online?
Well, first, Lotro is an older game than
Right.
ESO. It has a lot of the weaknesses of older games. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. It is very much built on the WoW model, the WoW EQ model of how you build an MMO.
Right.
But overall, find the storyline better.
And
Yeah.
it's pretty
And
true
it's
to
not like they
the
don't have
lore,
the
right?
advantage in world building.
Oh, and they got horses that work. Well, kind of work. Well, they work better than they do in The Witcher or in Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, until you rubber band off a cliff.
Yeah, but that's the
horse in
service. That's
Witcher
not the horse's fault, right?
The horse in Witcher is legendary. Come on.
Fucking spaz horses that kill you.
Nah, only if you abuse it. Come on.
Unfortunately, the mounted combat system for Lotro is not going to be updated because the story has moved out of Rohan, so they're really not worried about it right now.
All right, guys. Well, I wanted to stop in to say hello to everyone, but I gotta head out for some things.
Take care.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Have fun.
Oh,
Caleb, there's
I just
no
thought of it.
reason
Let
to
me
be-
tell you. Hold on. So, dinosaur game, right? This is relevant. There is a player on the server I play in that's named the Matani, the dinosaur game.
Uh-huh.
I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
I saw it today.
Pretty
I
sure
was
it
like,
ain't
man,
him.
Yeah.
I know, but I was just like, oh my goodness. Who else would use this name?
Well, since you brought it up, allegedly there's a new really good interview out with Mittens that people should check out. I think it was Alexev Card that did it on his podcast.
An interview about what?
Well, the last 15 years of being Space Emperor. I haven't checked it out yet, but I was told that I should listen in on it when I get the time. So it's a long format interview with Alex and Alex, I guess.
And
Well,
no,
that's fine.
Caleb is not gonna link it. We all have to go look for it ourselves.
Yeah.
I am getting it. Give me a
got Google?
second.
You got phones?
There we go.
Don't you
Declaration of
guys
War.
have power?
Are you happy now, Smogracil?
No.
Here we go.
No, he's him.
He's
Can't be happy.
he's German and he plays Eve. Happiness is not an option.
What is
All right.
happening?
You guys are going to see me moving around because my back's killing me because I was sitting around in chairs during the whole Rona. So my back hurts.
Congratulations on beating Rona, by the way.
I still want to sleep. I still have a, you can probably hear it. I have a sinus infection still, but I'm clear of the virus. So
Yay.
you might hear me
And Dawn?
sniffle or
What?
sneeze.
Happiness is playing Jurassic World Evolution 2 and naming small herbivores after people you hate, then airlifting them into the Tyrannosaur paddock.
That's
That
fucking
was
genius.
weirdly specific.
That is genius.
That sounds like fun.
If anybody wants to send a masseuse over, just ping Sothersil. He has my very particular requirements. So, yeah. No, yeah, my the middle of my back, right between my shoulder blades, is just killing me.
Sounds like someone needs a neuro.
I no.
So soft, that list of requirements, Hirsute Slavic man is up at the top, right?
Yes. Obviously.
Oh. By the way, I've been up.
If you tell a German that you have muscle issues and you need a massage, he's not going to send you what you require. Rather, he's going to send you what you need. You're going to get some 6-foot sports male masseuse that's going to break your back.
Well, if he breaks my back, it's not going to really help very much here. Oh,
I don't think a German as small as 6 foot has the mass to do that.
That's because you are clearly failing proper engineering, Saw. You can use the more compact height if you get proper leverage by extending the arms via, a large meat tenderizer.
Never open a massage parlor, Rendis. Never.
oh.
Just to see a cleaver come out of nowhere. Oh God!
Oh Christ!
You cannot get an appointment at any respectable massage parlor around here. You just can't get it.
Does that mean
You're
with
not
or without
looking-
happy endings?
Respectable.
So
know,
with
without.
happy.
God damn it!
They're like booked for months.
Then get your appointment in.
Oh,
The
no.
disrespectable
Well,
ones
an
are also
easy
booked
peasy
for months.
solution.
I'm pretty sure the disrespectable ones do stuff without happy endings as well.
I'm sure they do. I am sure that they do. I'm still a little, I got a little bit of a head cold. I really don't feel like going in there and bugging them. But yeah, right. I mean, by the way, I've been awake since about 3:30 this morning, my time
You're an
local.
idiot.
Well, because my back has been hurting me so much,
All
I
right.
couldn't get comfortable. So you will see me squirming around here, trying to stretch it out or whatever. It's just not coming up. By the way,
It's Pilates with Eric Asmog.
Pilates.
Eric.
I have a friend who has
Eric,
a Pilates
You
studio.
should just have a drink, and it'll help you loosen things up.
That'll happen after the show. As I begin the as I begin the wait for the University of Pittsburgh Pitt football team game against Wake Forest today for the ACC championship.
Eric. You should get one of these.
What is that? Because that could be a lot of things. I mean, is that something that girl that texts you every once in a while sent you, or what is that?
No, you lie on it and roll up and down on it. And
that might work.
Yourself.
That might work. I might just call up my chiropractor too, because they got these. Basically, they got these beds you lay on, and they have like a roller thing that goes up and down your back. Oh, that might work too.
That's where I got that one from. Because I have back problems sometimes.
That sounds like a poor man's neuro.
Just stop it.
What is this?
Have you ever had one of those, Caleb?
No, but if I ever went to Japan, I would definitely get one.
Ugh.
What things are called?
It's what you get in the soap houses in Tokyo.
In the soap houses?
Soap parlors, yes.
Are they called soap parlors, or are they called?
Yeah, something like that.
houses?
Yeah, it's a very specific term.
Isn't it like you have to get like bathed before you get in the bathtub there, or something like that? Some rule.
Well, it's basically what you get if you
Never been to
mix
Japan.
a massive bathhouse thing with massage parlor.
Meppa, I think that's kind of what Caleb is talking about. Just saying.
I try not to try and figure out what Caleb was talking about.
Oh, I'm gonna try and yeah. So the challenge.
Never a good idea.
So the challenge we have. So there's 5 people in our house. I got one unvaccinated person. Well, 2. The youngest and the oldest child are unvaccinated. The middle child is vaccinated with the same vaccine I had. I got it. I got the sinus infection first. Then I got, COVID first. And then my wife, who had a second vaccine, she got it. And then my oldest son, who was unvaccinated, he got it too. And the small child that is not vaccinated, but she's too young, and the middle child never got it.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Never got it. And it all started a day or two before Thanksgiving. And then I was clear on, I think, Monday. I tested clear. I also did get those, what do they call them? The monoclonal, whatever, antibodies, the fake antibodies. I got that because I'm old enough I could qualify for that. So I just
Did you just call monoclonal antibodies fake antibodies?
Yeah, well, they're not natural. They're artificial, not fake. Artificial.
Oh, yeah. Only in the sense that they are produced in things like eggs or stuff like that.
I'm just saying.
Yes, Caleb, they are produced through artifice.
So I sat there 20 minutes.
Skill and cleverness of man.
20 minutes in an IV, and
but that doesn't make sense, Arendis. By that standard, human analog insulin is also fake because it's created by bacteria. That's just not how biomechanics work. Come on.
I didn't say fake. I said it was artificial. And yes, it's artificial.
How are you going to mass produce something like this if it's not done artificial, quote unquote?
You're not. Mass production is artificial in and of itself. Why are you getting hung up on that?
I'm just going to point
why
out.
Is that a problem?
I just, Caleb, can you say nanu for me?
I think.
Can you do that for me?
Why?
Because Briss thinks you came from an egg, and I'm pretty sure, Mork and Mindy birthed you in the egg. So just say
now, Caleb.
Nanu.
Come now, Eric. Caleb doesn't have nearly the spontaneity to be that sort of madness.
All right. He's half Mork. I liked Mork. Mindy was.
Can we talk about Eve?
Nanu.
The fuck do you think this is?
Okay. You're right. Let's talk about something from Eve. I got something. Okay.
Ooh.
This is the thing this week that happened with CCP that I most care about.
Comic?
All right, I'm gonna take a nap.
Yesterday, they put out the latest edition of the Community Beat. Okay?
Hold on. Is this like Tiger Beat, Community Beat?
Basically, yes. And the link was broken because Elise misspelled December.
Nice.
And that's the thing I care most about in Eve, which should tell you something.
How much did he misspell it?
He added an extra R at the end. He says he was embracing the pirate.
December.
Well, I mean, it's a good recovery.
I can't be mad at him for that reply. To be honest,
I love Talk Like a Pirate Day.
Yeah, but that's in September.
Is there 1 or 2 R's in September?
What?
Well, there's 1 R in September. There's 2 R's in September.
There you go. All right.
I've
Or
been
once you've had a couple
I'm yawning
drinks,
now.
there might be 5 or 6 R's in it.
Forgive me, but can we get back to how CCP is killing the game? And the master seconded it, by the way. It was second.
Should we also discuss the wetness of water? I mean,
is water wet? Or do you get wet when you're in water?
unless you've only got a single molecule of water, yes.
No, there are certain cases where water isn't wet. When it's like bound in other things.
Then it's not water.
Then it's not water.
That's a different.
Well, it's not very wet when it's solid, right?
That
he's got
true.
a point.
True.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, depending on how cold it is, it's actually pretty sticky.
When it's in gaseous form, steam, right? Is it wet or is it just moist?
It's just diffuse.
You just wanted to say the word moist.
I did.
It's
I need
wet.
the word
It's
moist
wet
in there.
over a larger area.
You know, with my sinuses like this, a scotch in the steam room would be really good right now.
There you go.
Now you're just finding an excuse to get scotch.
Think about drinking scotch in a paper cut through a straw, because you don't want any drips of water in it, right? That doesn't get you drunk. No.
No,
Meppo,
alcohol through a straw never gets you drunk.
Never.
Meppo, I
Never.
disagree with you. Water is always covered or soaked with water, so it's always wet.
Not if you've only got one molecule.
That's true.
So how many do you need before you can get wet?
Just 2, because each
Yeah.
one is in contact with water.
So it's wet.
You don't have to be completely immersed in water to be wet.
It only takes 2 molecules.
Well, think about it. I mean, do you need to be completely immersed in water before you can consider yourself wet?
Yes.
Is this some sort of Archimedes reference?
Or if, somebody splashes you, do you look down and go, "Oh my God, my shirt is wet," even though the back of it is dry?
Now it's a Miss Wet T-shirt thing.
I'm just saying, you don't have
But
to be completely and totally.
to be clear, you
immersed.
need ice water for that. You don't use warm water for wet t-shirt contests.
That's not the ice thing. I'm pretty sure is not for the wetness. It's for something else.
It's for the contest part.
Yeah.
Duh.
Just pointing out, you got to use ice water, so you got it in the wet form and the non-wet form. So if you take wet water and non-wet water, you have something glorious.
I would like a big cup of that non-wet water. Thank you very much.
It's called dehydrated
water.
Dehydrated water, yeah.
Just add water.
Isn't that toxic? I'm pretty sure I've seen a meme that says that's toxic.
I mean, there are these.
You just have to rehydrate it. That's all.
There are these water balls that that you can eat, and there's water in them.
Waterfalls that you eat.
Balls.
What?
Water balls.
Water balls?
Like a rum ball, but with water.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Dry ice isn't water, it's CO2.
Yep. It's just solidified CO2.
Yeah, the jelly ball's filled with water. Didn't some company say, hey, you can form these water balls, put them in your little knapsack, and carry them with you while you go hiking?
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, put it in chat. That's what it's called.
Oh, I'm pretty sure the Queen's got some balls. She's a tough one. Gotta love her.
Queen's fucking epic. Queen is fucking epic.
She is. She is. In America, we love the Queen too. She's awesome.
We just have this discussion.
I mean,
I don't know.
You guys are
Really?
are more sort of have more of an obsession with the royal family than actually most Brits.
That's because we don't have to care about them.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like we just watch them. I like how she gets pissed off at American presidents who land helicopters in her yard and mess up her fucking grass.
It's like anything else. When people tell you you're supposed to do it, you don't want to do it. When people tell you you don't have to do it, suddenly you're like, I'm gonna do that.
I'm gonna be the yeah. No, I see where you're coming from. Yeah.
Landing in my yard. And
I kind of feel like there is. I kind of feel like our royal family can be a lot more, insane and crazy than they currently are.
You mean get down and with the boogie?
I mean, just in terms of eccentricities, like.
Oh, you need them to be a little crazier.
Yeah.
Pretty
sure they can be a lot crazier without like.
Pretty sure I like Kate Middleton just the way she is. I don't think I want to change that.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Didn't they like take some pictures of her, like, sunbathing in the nude when she was on her honeymoon or something stupid?
I mean, it's the British tabloids. Yes.
Yeah, probably.
I just like that sequence of thoughts from Eric there. It was basically, yeah, I mean, I like Kate Middleton. She gets naked.
No, that really wasn't. It was just like, hey, didn't they? It was more, didn't they do that to her? Like, did somebody really need to take those
Yes,
pictures?
but it's the British tabloids. They do it to everybody.
I know.
Yeah.
She strikes me as a very classy lady, and it seems kind of mean to do.
Oh, no, it's a shitty thing to do, but that doesn't mean that like there isn't somebody in the fucking British media that tabloid media that won't fucking do it. Of course they will fucking do it.
Look, this human being actually has a body.
Whoa!
They don't sew their heads onto their shirts.
All right. This is a temporary good position for my back. Sorry, people.
You found a place to.
Once it starts hurting, I'll have to move again. It really does hurt. It's really kind of weird.
Oh, you hear that?
An Eve event in Hawaii.
I mean, talk about remote.
I know the island of Lanai is pretty nice. You can have an Eve meet there. You might know a guy. Not personally. More know of him. Get a lot of email from him, though. Help us out with that. Skiing in Hawaii. Yeah, aren't they getting snow in Hawaii? Isn't that crazy? I love snow. We had this is what really killed me. I couldn't go out and do anything, right? So the week of Thanksgiving here where I live, you would go to bed, and then you would wake up, and all the houses would be covered in snow, and the yards would be covered in snow, but your sidewalk, your driveway, and the road, no snow, right? And then during the day it would melt, and then you go to sleep and wake up the next day, it'd be the same way. That's my kind of snow.
No, ain't bad.
But we don't have that. It then went to like 50 degrees. Blizzard of 78. I remember the blizzard of 78. I remember the blizzard of 80 something too. That was a big deal here where we were. The different types of snow for the next 45 minutes. Are there different types of snow, folks? I mean, I hear, one of the best places to ski is Banff National Park up there in Canada, because technically it has the driest snow.
Don't the Inuits have like 10 different words for snow or something like that?
I don't know. All I know is don't eat the yellow snow. That's all I know. It is not a snow cone, ladies and gentlemen. All right.
It's a lemon snow cone. What are you talking about?
Lemon. It is not a lemon snow cone. I've heard. The brown stuff is in sprinkles.
This is Eric's kind of like how not to get pranked.
Don't eat the yellow snow. Oh. Obviously, I don't like the snow on the roads because Amazon delivery and all that bullshit. So that causes nothing but havoc. But yeah, I do like snow. All the Christmas lights are up, so I'm very very excited.
I haven't had any snow, or at least as far as I know, we haven't had any snow where I live anyway.
Nope, no snow here either. It's just been drizzling all day or being super cold.
But you know what did happen today?
Stuff?
And
I
things.
mean, a lot of random things, yeah. But from a a stellar standpoint, there was actually God, what the fuck is it?
Reading of a Streetcar Named Desire.
Potentially.
Stella.
A solar eclipse.
Ah.
Is that of the heart?
No, of
Okay.
the actual sun and moon.
When did that happen?
Probably, I think literally 12 hours ago.
Wow. Well, I don't think it affected us, or I just didn't care.
Oh, it definitely
I
didn't
don't.
affect you. Like
I don't think it would have affected us at midnight.
Hey, the shit was on the other side of the world. I don't want to hear.
It was on the southern hemisphere, but it also was the pictures that I saw were like basically from a NASA observatory in Antarctica. So yeah, there's a really cool total eclipse that's going to happen in a few years' time that I really want to see because it has like almost 10-minute totality.
There we go. You can only hear this,
which is insane, and the totality is going straight through Egypt as well.
They only heard that on the stream. They won't hear that. You guys won't hear that. I started playing Total Eclipse of the Heart. But,
I figured.
Yeah.
Don't let us get demonetized.
It wasn't long enough. Just a couple little. Triglavians invading with that long totality. I don't. What is a long totality? I mean, it's,
well, it's like a short totality, only longer.
The ladies prefer a long totality.
That's what I hear. That's what I hear. Wouldn't know, but
Yeah, it's how you use it. I heard.
That's what they say.
I wouldn't know.
No.
So I just checked because people are saying there are very long queues in Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
There's 7,100 players in front of me.
Oh, fucking Jesus!
Not that long.
And I'm not even sure we can call them queues because queues kind of infer that at some point you actually get to the front of it. That's not how these work. You basically just sit in them, and then halfway through you get kicked, and then you have to start all over again.
Yep.
I have a question.
3.
Occasionally, when I play World of Warships, I see a submarine occasionally. Are submarines back available in World of Warships? Because I can't fucking find
They
them.
are still a thing.
What?
I think I heard that they are now a thing.
I can't find where to get one.
Probably an unlock or I don't know. It's World of Warships. It's probably a premium feature that you have to buy.
Yeah, it could be.
I mean that very much fits the style of World of Warships. So.
I when they were in test mode, I was playing the fuck out of those. I love submarines. You only get one kill in a game because they're so fucking slow.
What was the submarine film?
Yeah, you could rent them before, but every once in a while I see there'll be one that'll show up in one of my matches. Missions tab. U-boat. So do you have to run missions to get one or run missions to rent one? It's weird because they would show up in co-op games. I don't know. And I can't find anything. I keep searching for it. Yeah, I tried to Google it, Jasper the Maniac. Couldn't find anything.
I mean, you know what the U in U-boat stands for, right?
Universal. Unanimous.
Underwater.
No.
Actually, what
No.
genuinely was.
Ironically stands
That was
for
an actual
underwater.
that was a literal just random guess.
Underwater boat, really?
Yes.
That seems so weird. I don't.
Welcome to Germany.
What are we going to call these boats that they've made that go underwater? Well, what about underwater boats? Well, that's a bit long. How about U-boat? Oh, yeah, all right. Fair enough.
Eric, think about the German word for tank.
What is the German word for tank?
Panzer.
What?
No, just Panzer.
Panzer.
That's the abbreviation. It's not just Panzer. That's the abbreviation, Soft.
Yeah, sorry, Sob.
Are we really teaching a German how to German?
That's like the English word for car being car. Well, yeah, it's actually automobile.
I thought the German word for tank was like Fahrvergnügen.
No, that's the German word for driving experience from Volkswagen.
Wow.
And a tank is different. How? I mean, it's a Volkswagen.
Those aren't made by Volkswagen.
Doesn't matter. You can still have a great driving experience in one. Blow the shit out of your enemies.
I'm still looking.
For what? What are you looking for? The master wants to know the German word for musical conductor.
I don't know.
Up. What are you looking for?
He's looking for something.
Okay, no. The very first tank was called Panzerkampfwagen 1.
Right.
But it's abbreviated as
to Panzer.
No.
To PF1.
To PZKPFW. Because that abbreviation is so much easier to say.
Yeah. But anyway, so like the Panzer is just a worn down shortened usage form.
No.
Yes.
No, because the word Panzer already existed before tanks existed. Because Panzer means shielding in German, right?
Yeah. I thought it was a sexual word like Panzer.
But it's used for a vehicle is the longer form, which is armored fighting vehicle.
But
Fahrvergnügen.
We've strayed so far away from the point that we were initially trying to make that I've literally forgotten the reason why we're here.
Nobody knows why we get anywhere on this show.
Like, well, all right then, whatever. This show is less sort of like, down the rabbit hole. Like it's more like sort of like into the fucking ant nest.
Into the ant nest. And what are we all waiting to get, like, aluminum poured over top of us? Is that what's happening here?
I mean,
aluminum.
If someone has anything Eve related we can talk about, I'm sure we will talk about it.
I'm just gonna point out, the slang.
Eric, get out of that dyslexic bullshit American racism.
Okay, it doesn't matter how you pronounce aluminum. Okay,
Caleb,
would anybody with the Eve topic please stand up?
You have to hear this. Like, the slang term for aluminum foil where I live is tin foil.
Yeah, you should just stick with that because there's no such thing as aluminum. This doesn't exist.
Caleb, the guy who first isolated aluminum called it aluminum.
No, whoa.
The Scottish metallurgist who did this called it aluminum, and one of his students got pissy at a lecture and put it in the published papers as aluminium. It's aluminum. The British fucked it up, just like everything else.
We always fuck shit up, but people always go with it.
I had to go get some crisps.
I'm just saying, find it on the periodic table.
Chips.
We were out yesterday when we ordered dinner. we were already out driving around picking stuff up. All the the COVID-free people. Okay. After desanitizing through the massive desanitization wing that we have here at Casa Asmok. But so we were out, and they were like, it's like 50 minutes before it'll be ready. So what do? We go to the pretzel shop and buy pretzels. We got like a fuck ton of pretzels in the kitchen.
Oh, don't get me started on pretzels.
We have cinnamon and sugar pretzels. We have caramel pretzels, and we have regular pretzels with nacho cheese dip, like buckets of them. Buckets.
When making pretzels, like you actually have to dip the dough in like stuff that's actually toxic for human beings.
So something
in order for it to be
I'm
available.
reading through this horrendous, and there's mentions of a Danish physicist, 2 German physicists, and a French physicist. None of these are American.
I didn't say American, did I?
Yeah, we didn't. Yeah, no,
It's
nobody
Scottish,
did.
actually.
Yeah, and who? I mean, really, French? Seriously? I mean, do they even let the French play Eve?
I mean,
really.
Historically, yes. Changed my mind.
What?
Sebastian doesn't count.
Actually, I wasn't thinking of Bastion. I was thinking of the group that you guys crashed on the couch for.
French Connection?
No, not French Connection.
Oh,
Way
TCF.
back. Yeah, TCF.
You're still wrong though, because the Brit who did have it renamed was because he thought it sounded better.
And that is not getting pissy about shit. How?
That was a Brit, and everyone else involved was Danish, German, and French.
So what you're saying is everybody else was wrong and the Brits were right.
When the fuck was this, by the way? Was this the point where we basically went, well, we're going to go with what we say?
1812.
Okay, so we were past the point where we would just like blockade a country and get it if we didn't get our way.
You're very much past that point.
Damn. All right, fair enough. Not that the Brits ever did that at all.
Oh,
Never.
No, not at all.
So is there anything going on in Eve?
I heard 2 things. I heard 2 things that happen in Eve, apparently. According to... So apparently some people got pissy about the fact that, someone at CCP decided to sort of augment the rules or change the rules on, how or whether
yeah,
sort of
that was so
Concord
stupid.
was a thing, was a bannable thing for whatever reason.
That was so amazingly stupid.
It did seem fucking dumb. It just
Didn't
another shooting from the hip moment, I guess.
wait. Didn't they say that they were going to do this like 2 weeks ago, or even longer? And we already told them then that it's dumb.
Yeah.
I mean, that wasn't the worst one with regards to sort of like CCP not sort of up to speed on certain things. But the other one was apparently that CCP have now acknowledged the fact that putting abyssal siege mods on something other than a dreadnought is should probably be considered an exploit.
What
the fuck?
Like, tell me if I'm wrong here, but that has been
You're wrong.
broken.
It's been broken for so long.
Abyssal siege modules in, right?
Yes,
Or
for so
did they fix
fucking
it
long.
and it has been rebroken? Please tell me
I
it has been rebroken.
I hope it's the second one, but this is CCP we're talking about. It could very well be the first.
Like, wait, horrendous! Didn't you find that one
Which one?
during sissy testing that you could put abyssal siege modules on anything?
No. No, and here's how I know I didn't find it. I didn't give a shit.
Right.
Okay.
Because it's abyssal crap. I didn't give a shit.
By the way,
Well,
PSA here for Kella Babbitt 404. Goons 1 shouldn't have surprised you. I mean, really? Okay, go on.
I mean, according to everyone but Villy, Goons won.
Did Billy really say the Goons didn't win?
Though he was weaseling his way around it.
Well, he's a weasel, so. But hey, did you know we're not allowed to have?
Well, he's
Billy
not
on this
entirely
show?
wrong, right? It's not so much that Goons. It's not really that Goons won. It's just that they failed.
That would be a Goon win condition.
When our objective is survive, yeah, that's a win.
I mean,
It's in that situation, it's fucking easy.
We also won the ISK war by far. So
yeah.
Well,
here's the sad thing: we won the ISK war, and we let them blow up all the other.
I just want to point out,
just kill all the cars we lost, and we still won the fucking ISK war.
We won the ISK war before we started purging Delph of all their structures.
Jesus,
it's just ridiculous.
Oh, fucking
most
Christ.
Incompetent war ever.
Yeah, the one-eyed Villy. All right.
It's the what was it? It's the slow knife that penetrates the shield.
Slow blade.
Slow blade.
What a fucking ridiculously absurd comment. Like, oh, just because it's a cool line from a sci-fi fantasy fucking book that you've read once doesn't mean it actually holds true IRL. And yes, I know IRL is a bit kind of weird when you're talking about these, but when you're actually talking about two organizations that are basically consist of real people going against each other, yeah, I'm going to constitute that as being IRL.
Villy only comes back to tell people they shouldn't be protesting silly changes.
Yeah.
And that it's a good thing that not as many people are playing for extended periods of time. Unlike, wasting hours in a stupid war that he started.
I really wanted to make a meme from that from a scene from what the fuck is it? Kingdom of Heaven. With Hilmar basically saying, "Give me a war," and then fucking Billy going, "That is what I do."
I believe it. I'm still convinced that CCP told Billy to start a war to keep the numbers up.
No,
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Let's put it that way.
I would be, because that would be Hilmar admitting that things aren't going so well, which is not going to happen.
I don't think Hilmar.
Oh, I'm not saying that someone's going to say that someone's going to come out and say that is definitely the thing, but
yeah,
it potentially being a thing in the sort of the back halls of the CSM/CCP conversation.
They were just sitting in class. Somebody passed them a little note folded like a football. Their signature, do you like me? And they get the little thing where they go with the little fingers. Start a war. Do you love me? Yeah. By the way, we have absolutely nothing to back any of that up, but it's fun to.
No, absolutely not. It's all speculation.
We have everything we need to back that up.
It would fit in certain ways to how history is played out.
Please do something so that people forget chaos.
I'm just looking at the numbers right now because you wanted me to. We're on a Saturday in EU Prime, and we're below 30k. We're 27k. So, yeah, the numbers aren't good. They aren't bad as last week.
It's because they're watching us.
They're definitely not good.
Well, you know.
Well, the worst was in July when it did.
We've got a new variant. It'll keep everybody inside playing Eve. We'll be good.
Yeah.
Woo!
Is that going to be
the business plan?
That's going to be the tactic moving forward for CCP? Like
pretty much
develop random strains of like sort of coronaviruses to make sure that people.
Isn't this where Renders usually says, "Don't give them any good ideas"?
Yeah, we're sorry. We apologize.
You know what? That idea is so CCP. I don't even need
that. No, that isn't CCP. That isn't
of course
a bona fide thing
it's
for CCP.
It's a random stupid technology Hillmark can invest in.
I mean, yeah, but like that would also mean that like CCP might have to do some work.
To give you an idea, the lock-in numbers are the worst since 2006.
Yeah, it was some good things happening.
I really think, you know, people are, you know, they're out at the stores, they're shopping for Christmas, they're putting up their Christmas lights and Christmas decorations, and they're not playing Eve. This is just a normal December thing. I don't know what you guys are, you know, harping on this about. You know, people go celebrate.
This has been going on since July. Have people been buying Christmas things?
Well, you do have the traditional Christmas in July when Hallmark brings out their ornament premiere for the year here in the United States. So I think that really, yeah, it's a real thing. Christmas ornaments go up in Hallmark stores in July. Okay. And there is a line.
Just because some mad people at you know, those places kind of do some random Christmassy thing in July doesn't mean that that's sufficient.
You don't understand. There'll be a line of like 100 people outside a Hallmark store to get in at midnight to buy them.
It's America. You sell anything. There's going to be sell anything that seems to be somewhat limited in availability. There'll be 150 people outside trying to buy it.
There are people who would come in. This is back.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Exactly.
There are people that would come into the Hallmark store and they would, I mean, weeks ahead of time. Here's my list. Can you pull them so I can just come in, pick up my bag, and check out at midnight? No shit. For Hallmark Christmas ornaments.
Yep. I believe it.
And then they do things like the Star Wars thing that we put on the tree that, you know, talks about going into the Death Star and shooting it. You know, I mean, you had to, like, it took 5 years to collect every piece of that thing. It's crazy. I had to buy pieces off the display to get one. I have 3, you know, in case one breaks. Yeah. I have more Hallmark Christmas ornaments than if I put 2 full trees in every room in this house, and that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And this is why everybody listening to Eric bemoan the evils of capitalism this way.
That's right. If we had 10 Christmas trees, if we had 10 Christmas trees, we could not put all the Christmas ornaments that we have in this house on all of them. And assume one of them's like a 14-foot high tree.
See, for us, we always buy a Christmas ornament on whenever we go on vacation. And, you know, over the years, eventually it's like, oh, we have so many vacation ornaments. We should just use vacation ornaments.
There you go.
So we got rid of most of the, like, unmeaningful ones.
Well, we keep
It's fun to pull them out and see, like, oh, yeah, we got that at Myrtle Beach 4 years ago. Or, you know, that one's from San Juan or something.
And Bristol.
I mean, I get it. I get it when those ornaments like have, you know, memories attached to it and sort of like, you know, of good times and all that kind of stuff. That's totally legit. Yeah.
I have a pristine condition, first edition Frosty Friends Hallmark ornament. I have been offered lots of money to buy that on many occasions, and it's one of the most expensive Hallmark items out there. It's amazing. My aunt just got it for me when I don't know how old I was. You know, a little dog and his little Eskimo buddy sitting on an ice cube. and they got little musical books where, little book they're singing out of, basically. Actually has musical notes in it. Not that they're real. Yeah. Oh, we also have one of the original motion ornaments from, we have a bunch of these, where the train went around. It's pretty cool. Got a lot of Hallmark ornaments. A lot. I care about Christmas. I love Christmas. My favorite holiday. Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. It's like the trifecta.
Yeah, anybody who knows Eric is definitely definitely pro Christmas.
My daughter has her own Christmas tree because she has a different Christmas color motif every year. So she has her own tree upstairs. So it's kind of funny. Yeah, girls are interesting. They make you do things. It's mean. They just manipulate dads. It's bad. They're terrible people. She's funny.
Okay.
Oh, but I gotta throw Hanukkah in there too, because we generally do Hanukkah as well in this household. So we got all the holidays except for like Kwanzaa. We're not doing that. Why should you care? Because you're here at the show. I'm a simulation. Okay.
Yeah, there's not much going on, so.
Yeah, I mean, I think they should make like a Santa in his reindeer skin and let people fly around Eve with it. And when you have it on, you can't be shot, but you can't shoot anybody either, but you can go anywhere you want. And the reindeer, like they go up and down, their little legs go.
That could be broken, though. You could use it to move into hostile territory and then just take it off and be like, haha, pew, pew, pew.
No, just make it when you log off, you go back to the starting station you're at. Snowballs will be cool. We have snowballs.
We have snowballs.
We have snowballs.
What if you, as a reindeer thingy, went so fast that you could go through all of Eve in one night? To simulate, Santa going everywhere in one day.
Mm-hmm. No wrecks, because you can't be killed. You're invincible. You could do it in nullsec. It can only be your own space for your own alliance.
What if you could drop presents off to stations?
Yeah. Let's just, do more of that.
It could be fun. So I've been playing the new Pokemon game.
Have you?
Yep. I've been having a lot of fun with it. Though I've gotten to the point where I've collected most everything that now I'm down to the really hard stuff that's not much fun to try and get.
Oh, Master, that's so mean.
What'd they say? I'm not watching.
Is the best Christmas present for Eve players would be CCP firing Ratatouille.
Oof.
That's harsh.
I mean,
I really think it would be Hilmar, but okay.
So this is. I said this like on a Reddit thread, and like it was clearly controversial kind of a comment, but I kind of feel like firing Rattati might actually be a bad thing, mainly because all that means is you'll get the next CCPer who doesn't not really understand or have learnt anything into Rattati's place to do the same, to basically, do the same like dumb thing, just like in 6 months' time or whatever.
Yeah, but
it's probably better if Rotari actually learned from his mistakes or had the opportunity to learn from his mistakes. But obviously, if he clearly isn't sort of showcasing the fact that he's learning from any mistakes that he makes, then there's that's an issue.
I mean, MacLeod, let's look at the last games he's worked on, right? Do we think he learned from his mistakes he made on those games?
I don't know whether he was in charge for those particular things, or what was his what did he actually have to do in those games? Was he in charge of something specific that really fucked up?
Detailed. You want details from me, damn it.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Sorry, man.
Somebody actually
ask for details from South.
Yeah.
I mean, you're probably right. But
wasn't he in charge of the new shooter thingy until it drove off a cliff?
I want to know who made the deal for PS3 exclusivity when the PS4 was coming out 6 months later.
That would have been Hilma.
That was the dumbest fucking play.
That had more to do with networking than anything else.
That was CCB being outplayed by the
by Sony, yeah, basically being screwed over completely, and that's why that thing was already dead on the get-go, right? So it's not really Retati's fault that game died, because that was doomed.
Because the thing is, Sony had their own product coming out that was essentially a rival to what CCP were making. So Sony making something that Sony basically making the deal terrible for CCP was understandable.
Feature, not a bug.
Yeah, I mean it couldn't go on Xbox because of how they network into the internet. It had to be on PlayStation because of the way they designed something. I don't know if it had to be on 3 only because of a technical thing. But PlayStation being selected over like an Xbox was a technical thing, as I recall.
So
and by the way, no, I haven't had any edibles. I have been up since 3 with my back hurting. So this is Eric tired, and there probably is a picture of me in high school on a band bus going on a band trip, sleeping on somebody's shoulder, and I look just completely and utterly stoned. So, apparently I'm really tired and I look really stoned face.
Stoner face?
Yeah, stoner face, apparently. Grand scarcity. Homer in a nuclear plant, pushing random buttons. That's a pretty good analogy there.
Do we know when these mining changes are going to start? It said December, right?
Based on statements I've seen in various places, figure the 7th.
The 7th? That's like Pearl Harbor Day.
I expect the patch on the 7th.
It's Pearl Harbor Day.
That's really early. Now, I have a question on the multiple bays thing, the mining bay. Are they making all the mining bays bigger, or?
I don't know. I would have to check the thread to see what the latest thing was. And honestly, no.
Okay.
Well, it looked like they buffed all of the bays, right? A little bit. But the point was that they pretty much didn't really seem to buff them with any specific plan or vision that makes any sense.
Here's an update. He was senior producer for Dust 514, and then he became project lead for Project Nova.
Yeah, and can we stop shooting a man for things that are not really his issue, right? That's just unfair.
How do you know it wasn't his issue?
Well, because it's not his fault that they pulled the plug on the project. That's just not how that works.
Or is it?
Yeah, but look at what they had when they
they pulled the plug because the project would it was literally just a slightly improved like graphically like improved in terms of graphic like fidelity. Like it was a slightly improved version of, Unreal Tournament 2005.
Well, the point is that it split up into two projects, right? It split into whether or not they were going to do something new with Dust, or whether they're going to do the normal tournament shooter, right? So they kind of wanted to play on both horses at the same time back then. So they had so many things going on with what they wanted to do with when they sunsetted Dust, right? And they really couldn't make up their mind. And then they made that mediocre tournament shooter that no one was really very hyped about. And well, then he was supposed to then take it back and make it into what was then dubbed Legion, and it was a whole shit show of trying to figure out what to do with all that IP stuff instead of just killing it.
You know what the dumbest thing was? Like the most kind of like annoying aspect of that kind of that tournament shooter thing that they created. The sort of the demo that they created of what we call it, like it was the cool aspect of it was, oh yeah, you're gonna be fighting on the hulls of of like Eve ships, and like people like me, like a lot of Eve players had like just our imaginations ran wild with that, as I'm sure everybody's.
It was a cool idea, and I liked the fact that they tied it into like the stuff they were doing with the song show at the time.
But there was nothing wrong with the idea, but that's not a substitute for Dust, which was planetary warfare.
Right, but
well, I mean, Dust could have been all sorts of different things, but the thing is, like the whole idea of basically saying like you're going to be fighting on the hulls of Eve ships, like that should be that kind of component of the game should be something more than just a skybox, because that's all that was.
But the whole point is that I find the idea of fighting on ships quite genius, and it would be perfect for a dungeon feature, right? if you're thinking MMO, like having a dungeon finder, which is basically some ship that you are then actually staging your activity on, that would be genius. But as a standalone thing, it's mediocre at best. It's like you can't do shooter tournament stuff and compete with the existing brands, so don't even try. This thing was never going to be a decent game, and I think that's what they realized. No one will buy that stuff, right? So it would have been less popular than Gunjack. So come on, you need an actual bloody game that takes over from Dust.
The thing is, the reason why certain games have like appeal is because typically those games that have appeal have a unique selling point, a very unique selling point. There's the reasons why certain games are like really, really really popular, because they break away from the norm, and they are unique to the point where people can't find that experience anywhere else.
Hell, it would be a great addition to the captain's quarter as a fucking dungeon finder, right?
CCP had the USP. They had the ability to be able to potentially create a sci-fi shooter that had like maps that were completely non-linear in any and every single way. You could have taken the idea of fighting on the hulls of ships and actually created spherical maps, like smallish or moderately small spherical maps.
Well, the whole point is that you could skip the whole world building, right? Because you basically would have stations and ships that you could basically use as your map, so you don't have to do this whole world building thing. Then that could basically have been like almost procedurally generated content, where you basically have these basic maps of a station and different ships, and then the rest is just procedural, and you would have had a massive popular add-on to EVE Online that would basically be almost like an extension of the whole walking in station that we were promised. And then they could have said, well, we're going to use the same engine and build a new Dust. Then you would have an actual decent plan that people would have backed.
Yeah, like I'm fine if you're creating a map that's like, a general sort of, multiplayer map with like rooms and corridors and all that kind of jazz. Yeah. But like dress that up or describe that to the player as being inside of a station or being in, basically being inside or assaulting a station of some form, a citadel of some form, right? Like, but making a general kind of like multiplayer map, but like a super fucking generic map as well, and then saying like, oh, you're fighting on the hulls of ships, and it's like, why in the living fuck would the hulls of ships have these various different like features?
And if they had been serious about it, right? I didn't feel like they were serious because
no, they weren't.
I don't think the maps looked like they were very lore centric. But if they actually talked to the lore dudes and worked with the same people that did the ships of Eve, and even did a quality assurance with people like Ashtarothi and Arendis, like, okay, this actually looks like the ship that you're talking about. This makes sense. Then that would have been an amazing game. But the thing that they delivered, the demo, felt like some shoot 'em up construction kit bullshit.
It literally felt like like they were given the sort of they were basically told like, oh, you have to have a demo there, and it was like like a week before, and they hadn't actually got anything. And they were like, oh fuck, let's literally like create a shooter out of nowhere in like 7 days.
Yeah, it felt like it was made by a sweatshop, and there was not a single person on the dev team that was very true to the original core things in EVE Online. It felt very disingenuous. It felt almost as bad as the mobile game that they first introduced at FanFest.
I didn't even care about whether it was disingenuous or not.
See you, Renus.
All right, Renus. I didn't even care whether it was disingenuous or not to sort of like the feel or the style of EVE Online. It felt disingenuous as just a general product that like we should be getting excited for, because clearly they weren't excited enough to actually put like more than fucking a week's worth of like actual time and effort in. Like that's what it felt like.
It's like, okay, who's actually? I feel like the thing that happened in CCP over the past 5+ years is that more and more of the staying true to the original USP and the original lore and content completely got lost. It's like now people are just revamping the IP in the same horrible way that they do with Star Trek and Star Wars. It's like, could you please stop destroying something that's beautiful?
Yeah, and the other fun thing is like, this isn't coming like my dislike to the whole like like demo of Nova wasn't from a position of like, oh, I hate FPSs, or oh, I hate EVE related FPSs. Like, no, I played Dust. I bought a PS3 specifically for no other reason whatsoever than to play Dust. I literally, I think I actually had a means to actually tie in being able to hear like all the game sounds, as well as tie in I think it was actual comms from my PC into the same thing, in order for me to be able to sort of like communicate with people without having to resort to the terrible in-game communication system that they had with the Sony platform. Like, I played Dust. I played a lot of Dust. Dust 514. Like it was fun. But I fucking hated what I saw from the Nova kind of demo. It was just horrible. I also played PlanetSide 2 as well. And PlanetSide 2 was actually the thing that that Sony was that like PlanetSide 2 going over to consoles was actually the thing that Sony screwed CCP over for.
Well, and I think they again, and I said this when we saw the Nova demo, that they really dropped the ball on the obvious thing that they should have done. Right? They should basically have made the starting location for the players the captain's quarters, and when you open the door, you ran into the actual environment.
I don't know. I mean, that could have been a bit fanciful, but
well, the captain's quarters is where we live, right?
Yeah, true. But the idea was that Dust Soldiers weren't actually like capsuleers and such.
Which again is
they were
all this silly lore stuff.
They were clones, but like it wasn't. They weren't capsuleers as such.
But this is again one of those things that, like, why not? Like, these things should all be integrated into each other. It feels like they don't have a plan, not lore-wise and not business-wise. Why would you allow someone like Sony to basically hijack you to, as an outsourced project, build them a game that you don't have a plan with?
I mean, I chalked it up to the fact that CCP didn't have the funding for it, so they were trying to find funding. And Sony was like, yeah, we'll give you funding under these particular stipulations. Yeah. And, whoever, said yes to that clearly didn't do their homework as to, why why Sony may be giving these specific kind of stipulations. Like, maybe competing product, But, I'm not a businessman.
It could have been just, that they just didn't get what the business deal they were going into was. Right?
Well, and this is down to what we've been talking about for years, that it's always the business stuff that they fail on, right? Because fundamentally, as you just said, Mac, there's nothing wrong with Dust. It was a decent product. And even though many people say that CCP are incompetent, well, if you look at their entire track record of what they have created, they're not bad developers. They're pretty decent at actually making games. So the thing that they keep dropping the ball when it comes to business and long-term planning, and you cannot just say Eve forever. That is not a business plan. If you went into the bank and asked for a loan with a business plan that basically is only Eve forever, they would basically kick you out.
Eve forever.
Which is not a fucking plan. Where's your plan?
No, it's a marketing slogan. Exactly. That's all it is. It's just a freaking marketing slogan, right? It's not a plan.
Like, where's your 3-year plan, your 5-year plan, your 10-year plan? Like, show me your business plan, you bloody amateurs, and show me your monetization. How are you going to make money?
Show me the money.
Show me the money.
I like to air dry. Air dry.
Feels like their planning is about as good as Pappy planning.
Pappy forever? Yeah, that's funny. No, it's not.
Well, that's the same type of planning that Pappy did, right? What's the plan? To have a plan.
Slow gin. Man, isn't it SLOE gin? Slow gin? It's not slow. Oh, slow motion gin. No. Probably. All right. Favorite holiday drink?
What?
Favorite holiday drink? Caleb, go.
Favorite holiday drink?
Holiday drink.
I mean, what would you consider a holiday drink? Like,
whatever you consider. What's your favorite holiday drink? Moscow Mule is not a holiday drink. Shut the fuck up.
It is if you're in Moscow. It is if you're like, well, actually, no. Moscow Mule was never actually.
It's a summer drink.
It was literally,
and it is one of the
by Americans.
Most refreshing drinks out there. You're out there in the heat. You come into the bar. You get a Moscow Mule. You can just suck that sucker down. It's so refreshing.
Let me see if I can get this. If you're saying holiday, does St. Patrick's Day count as a holiday?
We're talking about like the Christmas holiday.
I'm partial to a mojito.
Mojito, yeah.
That's extremely Christmassy.
Very Christmassy. I hate mint in my alcoholic drinks.
I mean, if we're talking about winter holidays,
winter holidays.
Talking about winter holidays specifically, I do like a bit of Glühwein. Actually, mulled cider is really fucking nice as well.
Yep, mulled cider, hot cider, spiced rum. That's good. Also what you.
But we're not getting into that. We're not getting into that conversation.
Christmas beers. Christmas beers are great.
Christmas beers.
I have never had a hot buttered rum.
Is that themed beer? Like what kind of fucking? What are we talking about? Like how do Christmas?
We have a Yuletide brew that comes out at Christmas every year.
Oh, we have so many Christmas brews.
Is it spiced in a certain way? Or is it just like the same beer?
It's slightly more spicy brew. Yeah, it's a little bit Christmassy and a little bit of a thicker brew. I can give you a link. Give me a second.
Oh, okay.
We got like what is it? Trogs.
What?
Mad Elf. Great Lakes Brewing has their Christmas ale. Trogs Brewing, Troegs Brewing. Mad Elf. That I do like the Mad Elf. It's pretty good.
I'm starting to put ornaments on my tree. I don't normally have a tree, but I somehow ended up with a second-hand tree and third-hand ornaments.
So I'm going to go with Archibald here. Hot buttered rum. That is a drink that I have looked at many, many, many times, but never made to drink. Is it any good? I've heard it's phenomenal, but has anybody ever had hot buttered rum?
I don't know. Part of it, like it confuses me, that drink, because like it sounds like the main component of it is hot butter, and I couldn't just fucking drink that. Jesus, what the fuck?
There is there's a comedy skit, and I don't know what it is. Some people may know, where it's kind of in the old American prairie area. You got the Indian, you got the guy living in the prairie, you got the wife there, and the Indian comes in and he goes, would you like some hot buttered rum to warm me up there? He goes, oh, absolutely. Hold the butter. Just straight hold the butter, right?
But why's the rum gone?
Yeah. Hot buttered rum. I have seen, like, there are places, like restaurants, like bars on the side of mountains somewhere that have these. And I've always seen recipes. Sometimes it looks brown like hot chocolate, and sometimes it's kind of goldeny clear. I just don't know what. The original hot buttered rum.
Concoction of whatever.
1 stick of unsalted butter. Higher fat content, right?
Jesus.
The unsalted butter.
Fucking stick.
But there's a higher fat content in the unsalted. I think that's why they do that, right?
I think it's just, because unsalted means that, like, if you require salt, like, you can add it, but if you don't, it's not like inclusive of.
In the U.S., it's a fat content on it, butter too. 1/2 cup light brown sugar, teaspoon of vanilla extract, teaspoon of cinnamon, teaspoon of ground cloves, teaspoon of ground nutmeg, teaspoon of ground allspice, a pinch of salt, 2 ounces of dark or aged rum, 6 ounces of hot water, a cinnamon stick for garnish. I look at that, and there's no way it can look clear like this picture up there. Okay? I'm sitting there going, you put all this ground up shit in there, it's got to be brown.
Spun it in a centrifuge and was like, now it's clear.
No, like the picture associated with this, right? And I'll share it. Right? You look at the picture here, and it looks like almost like beer or clarified butter with a stick in it with a little bit of cinnamon and stuff on top, right? That's what it looks like. And then you're sitting there going, but they're making this with dark rum. And you got cloves and nutmeg and allspice and cinnamon. And brown sugar. This is not a clear drink.
So I had to look this up. What it's actually called.
What is it called?
You were looking for a holiday drink, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if this counts because it's more seasonal than holiday.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Federweißer. It's basically it's a partially fermented young wine.
Okay.
Well, if it's young, it will be partially fermented.
And you can only get it for like 2 months in the year. Because it's only partially fermented, they can't close the bottles. So the bottles are sold still open. And because of that, you can't have them standing around for long.
Right.
And that's why they are only sold for like 2 months in the year.
We have
really nice.
We have bottles of wine you can only get mulled wine and spiced. You warm that shit up, man. Oh, it's good.
Yeah, I think them not being sealed in some way, shape, or form would be like that would break some, or that would invalidate some it to be sold. I think in the UK.
Yeah. By the way, folks, those ingredients that I did for the hot buttered rum are something that you mix together. You only put about 2 tablespoons of that mixture into a glass with an ounce of rum, and then you put hot water in with it. So it's not like you're mixing all the liquid, and all that stuff. Kind of mixing those buttery ingredients into something.
Yeah, it's got 6 ounces of hot water in, but inclusive of the 6 ounces of hot water, you're adding obviously the 2 ounces of dark aged rum, but you've still got 4 ounces of unsalted butter, for fuck's sake.
No. It's just 1 ounce of the butter mixture. So basically, you're doing the butter, the sugar, the vanilla extract, the cinnamon, cloves, nutmeg, allspice, and a little bit of salt. Okay, you're mixing that together and you're combining it. And then when you make a drink, you're putting 2 ounces of rum, and you're putting an ounce, basically 2 tablespoons of that mixture in the glass, and then you're adding 6 ounces of hot water.
Okay.
So
it's still like 15% butter.
Well, yeah. I mean, butter's like bacon, okay? Everything's better with butter.
Well, maybe not everything, but a lot of things.
Everything. Name me one thing not better with butter. Lobster is not one of those things.
No, I know this. I can't think
salad.
Of the term
Yes,
is.
salad.
Not true. Not true. You put a nice butter and bacon grease mixture together, and you toss that lightly on the salad before you put any dressing on it. It's amazing.
I know something that doesn't work well with butter.
What? Butter?
People with lactose intolerance.
Nobody cares about those people. Okay?
There isn't much lactose in butter, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, there's really not.
It's dairy.
I mean, you take some beef fried rice, right? When you're reheating it in the microwave, throw a little butter on it, keeps it nice and moist. Same thing with mashed potatoes, or any potatoes, really. Any rices, you put a little butter in when you reheat them. Trust me, it's excellent. But butter's amazing on everything.
I mean, in terms of like fats, from a health standpoint, it's not actually that bad.
A quote, McLeod: "Butter contains only trace amounts of lactose."
Oh, okay. It still contains lactose, though.
Garlic mashed potatoes, excellent.
Trace or otherwise,
salad. Butter works in salad. Sauerkraut, butter actually works on it, guys. Trust me. Okay, it just does. You don't need a lot, but yeah. Lemonade, okay. Lemonade, we might bring that in question. All right, but we haven't actually tried it.
That's not how lactose intolerance works. It's not like you get close to lactose and like you have to run to the bathroom. Okay.
Okay. Also, keyboards do not count. Okay. Keyboards don't count.
I was just trying to beat you on a technicality. Don't worry, dude.
Right.
But keyboard doesn't. We're talking about things you eat. Grilled cheese and lemonade. That might be good. So here's a question on your grilled cheese there, Canty. Did you go with the, Soth, shut up, the American cheese? Or, do you go with like a Havarti? Okay. If you haven't had a grilled cheese with Havarti, you have not lived. It's amazing.
Anything that does a good cheese pull.
Everything. Butter's better with everything. Everything food-wise. All right?
I just imagined Superman not having a weakness to kryptonite, but to lactose instead.
That's terrible.
Oh, fun fact about the Havarti, by the way. It's actually named after a location in my country where we used to hold our big family Christmases every year.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Did you make cheese there?
No, they don't make cheese there anymore. It's moved out. It's moved out of the original establishment, so now they rent it out to different events and stuff. We rented it every Christmas for the big Christmas party.
I love brie too. Brie's probably my most favorite cheese. Good double cream brie.
Brie and cranberry sandwich is nice.
You bake that brie, and whatever fruit you want on top, cranberries, apricot preserves, whatever you want. You just stick that on top, bagel chips or something around the sides, or bread, baguette, whatever. And you just punch a hole in that brie and just push it down so it just comes out like a stream of brie over top of the fruit. Just dip it. It's phenomenal. Everybody hungry now? My wife hates brie. She hates it, hates it, hates it. I love it. Butter works with sushi. I beg to differ. I've done that. You take a little, clarified butter, pour it right on top of your sushi, and then a little bit of the, the green stuff, and some kikkoman. Right? You have to use kikkoman. Can't use that lechoy bullshit. All right, soy sauce kikkoman. Got to use that shit. Lechoy is like sweet. It sucks, and it's excellent. I'm telling you, butter on sushi works, guys. If you don't believe me, try it yourself. You're puking. Somebody's puking. Too bad. I'm telling you. You got all that. You got all that.
Kale. I'm pretty sure butter doesn't work with kale.
Nobody eats kale.
No. The way Germans eat kale, not the dumb way Americans eat it.
How do we eat it? By the way, it is actually good in the soups, the Tuscan soup that is made at Olive Garden.
You eat it like it's some salad. That's not how you eat kale.
You can deep fry it and make it crispy.
No. You cook it, and then you add a lot of meat, and you cook the meat in the kale, so it takes on the taste of the meat.
So it doesn't taste like shit anymore.
That's how you eat kale, okay? It's not some vegetarian superfood.
Also, in that case, butter would be excellent on the meat and kale mixture. Steak. Who eats steak without butter on it? I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
Roast beef sandwiches with butter. Let me tell you.
I'm pretty sure we had this discussion before, Eric.
Did we? I don't know. Somebody brought up butter.
I've shown you pictures of what kale looks like prepared in Germany.
Green and shitty.
No, with lots of good stuff.
There's nothing good about kale. Where are we at here? Oh, we got 15 more minutes, boys.
Okay. You come over to Germany and I'll make sure you get the best kale you've ever had.
The best kale I've ever had.
You will love kale after this. Okay.
I don't dislike kale in in the Tuscan soup at Olive Garden, where you get unlimited soup and breadsticks. Unlimited.
That's where they pull people in for that unlimited breadsticks thing, and yeah.
I need to be retrained for my taste over in the EU. Sauerkraut, kielbasi, hot dogs.
But we've already established
that. We'll give you some good tapas, and then.
But it's easy.
By the way, you can't put butter on those.
Half all the sugar, and you have the European diet. Just stop putting sugar on everything.
Yeah, and salt.
We don't.
The salt.
We don't.
There's a picture in stuff for you. That's how it looks like when we eat kale.
I mean, the fact that you eat kale still frightens me, but okay. So it just looks like Southern food. Can't you mash those potatoes and put some butter in them?
You don't need to. The kale just has so much taste because all the meat gets cooked in it that you don't have to. What we usually do is we also put the potatoes into the kale before it gets served.
Eric is just trying to make it American, which means add more butter and then deep fry something and add sugar.
Butter. Not so much sugar. I mean, we don't add. I mean, at least here we don't add sugar to much. I mean,
wow. Except you
even talking in our household.
Bacon. You told us you do it with your bacon. It's like, what the fuck?
Candied bacon is a thing. But I'm talking about in our household.
It's not a thing. It's not a thing in civilized countries.
Goonie DuPont. We
don't add sugar too much. I guess in that kind of sense you don't. I just add high fructose syrup to every fucking thing in the world.
Yeah, no,
in their defense, right, MacLeod, if you think about it, there's a really logical defense for this, right? This is where the sugar came from originally. So the fact that they use it for everything makes complete sense because it's a local product, right?
Yeah, but I'm talking about when we cook here in our house. We don't really add sugar to much of anything or high fructose corn syrup or anything. Unless you're like baking holiday cookies, no. I mean, even when we bake bread, there's not that much sugar in it. Just enough to get the yeast going. But yeah,
you could use something other than sugar to get the yeast going.
But we don't.
There's a way to
any kind of carbohydrate.
It depends on what kind of bread you're making.
There is a way to make bread without adding sugar.
You can just
use going.
You use sourdough. You're literally using sourdough.
You can literally just use the flour. Like the flour has carbohydrates in it.
And you don't need to kickstart the yeast if you use sourdough. It's already alive.
We know that. Then you got to keep your little sourdough bowl around forever with all the flies and ants and shit in it.
You just get a sourdough starter.
Yeah, we're good.
I mean, you can.
Or you could use actual wet yeast, which is alive when you buy it.
And that's still.
And you don't even need to have like a sourdough starter that has lasted for like months or years or whatever. Like you can literally just create Polish.
Yeah, but you can get sourdough starters in the supermarket. Like,
I want bread. I'm just going down to Loafers and getting some bread. A little challah, a little honey baked. Get some good shit there. We have a store.
I guess good to that.
Just bakes breads all day. Not a bakery. It's a bread store. Just like we have the pretzel store and the bread store, and then we have bakeries. You go there for cakes and donuts.
Okay.
Yeah, problem, Caleb.
It's something so.
No, it's just your country. It's just so crazy.
Butter. Bagels.
Butter.
There's no tea in butter.
Yeah, but when we make like coffee and tea and things here, we don't put sugar in it. Excuse me. And we rarely
Wait a minute. Did you just say you don't put sugar in your coffee? What is Starbucks about?
Tea,
it's literally liquid desserts, like with coffee taste.
if I go to Starbucks, I just get a cappuccino or just regular coffee.
Some of those Starbucks coffees have more calories than
I'm just telling you. We did go to Starbucks last night.
You get a black Americano with no sugar whatsoever. Just like.
Well, I'm pretty sure that the one that I always get from Starbucks has more calories than a meal. It's the big white chocolate macchiato with whipped cream. Like that shit is just a sugar rush. It just makes you shake.
I don't.
Didn't they say that like what was it the spiced fuck is it spiced pumpkin latte actually has like the physical effects of cocaine, or to some or it has some degree of physical effect on someone's body.
Probably wouldn't surprise me. We went to Starbucks yesterday. I got just a cappuccino. My one son got a white hot chocolate, and then I don't really know what my daughter got, but it was something with almond milk, and I'm not sure I could pronounce it. So I really, I'm sure she had more sugar than most of America has in a month.
Whoever's milking those almonds must have very tiny, very strong hands.
They just grind them up and soak them. I actually like almond milk. It's not too bad.
It's an affront.
It's not really milk.
It's the milk of the almond, man.
Also, it's like, why would you do that? You can make so
it's
many
like coconut milk
with almond, right? And milk you get from milk machines, which are basically cows. Come on, can you stop with the almond milk bullshit?
Almond milk is for the lactose intolerant.
They should go for the other one instead. Which one is that?
There is lactose-free milk. Just put
Lactate.
that out there.
Yeah,
I'm aware of that.
Lactose-free milk. Jesus.
Some people like almond milk. Just the way it is, man. Okay? Don't be haters. Be lovers. It's the holiday season. All right?
I'm not hating on it. I just find it weird that we're calling it milk when
it's
clearly not.
It's California marketing. It's not us. I mean,
if you want an alternative, at least go for oats, which is a proper grain. Don't do almonds. It's an affront.
We have oat milk here.
I think the reason why they call it milk is just because like milk-like product is quite a long thing to add to the end of like something.
Hey.
So they're just like, we need something a little bit more pithy.
At least we're not like Canada and they
call it milk.
They put their milk in little bags and you carry your plastic bag of milk home. Ice cream?
It's like ice cream, like I'm not sure whether you have it over there in the US, but like
we have ice cream.
UK, there's two things. You have ice cream, you have dairy ice cream. And the thing is with dairy ice cream, in order to call something dairy ice cream, specifically dairy side, the dairy sort of part to it, it has to be above a certain percentage of like dairy products in it.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's just ice cream, it can be like fucking 2% like dairy product and everything else just like some random ass bullshit.
Yeah, we have soft serve, frozen custard, ice cream. They're all different.
Yeah, but like you don't have standards as to like,
we do.
Has to
we
be
have standards. Yeah.
I don't know.
You can't call soft serve ice cream. Okay?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean we have we probably have 3 companies probably within 20 minutes of us that make their own ice cream. Right? and they're the ones to go to, right? Because they make everything in house, the ice cream and all the additives into it. It's pretty amazing. And then we have a place that's called, I think it's called Cold Stone Creamery. They have ice cream, and then you say, well, I want almonds, I want chocolate chips, I want this, I want that. And they add it in there, and they like slather it around on some marble countertop, and then scoop it all up and give it to you.
Was that whole almonds, broken almonds, almond milk, or almond juice?
It's more of almond preserves. Yeah.
Oh Christ!
No, it's actual crushed almonds and stuff.
Can I have some of that almond cider?
Almond
Depends if it's hard or not.
I'm really starting to
cough. I'd rather put the almonds into cookies because.
Oh yeah,
way better.
Almonds and cookies, outstanding. But yeah.
Isn't that where all the LA water goes?
What, almonds?
Yeah, isn't that one of the major produce things from?
It all evaporates because they don't clean out any of their fucking wood and have fires all the time. Let's just let all these trees just die and fall over and sit here for decades and decades and get dry. That won't cause a fire if there's a lightning storm. Just saying. All right, we should go around the horn. We got 2 minutes left. Let's start with Caleb. Sorry, guys.
One last thing.
One last thing.
Yeah, well, one last thing is I hope everyone has a nice Christmas, and maybe
we're gonna have another show before Christmas. We'll have another show. It'll be okay. All right,
that's good.
All right, Dawn.
Dawn's here, but not here. Apparently.
All right, we'll go with Soth.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Oh, I think Dawn is here.
Dawn, you're back. One last thing.
Oh God.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Yes, we can hear you. You sound just like this. She's like, I'm not fun over there making fun of me.
I think I'm gonna leave it like that. Everyone have a Merry Christmas throughout the month, and you all should come play dinosaurs with me.
Come play dinosaurs with me.
Can you say I am RoboCop, please?
I am RoboCop.
Say exterminate.
Exterminate.
I mean, honestly, she sounds like it sounds like a voice changer that you would use like to pretend that you're an alien.
Yeah.
In all honesty.
I'll fix it later.
Just say take me to your leader.
Oh, your base are belong to us.
There you go.
All right, McLeod, you're up, brother.
Okay, so this time next week, a certain series in the next series of a certain sci-fi series will have started back up, and you guys all need to go and check it out. And that's the final series of The Expanse.
Nice.
It's going to be starting on Friday.
Yeah. Eric will be the only one in his house watching that because nobody else likes it. Don't ask me why. It's stupid.
What?
It's stupid that I'm the only one who likes
it. They clearly have lost their minds.
They're crazy.
Oh, and everyone should go and watch Elves on Netflix. It's amazing.
Wheel of Time. I like Wheel of Time. Wheel of Time has been good.
But you clearly failed as a father. Like, what did you do wrong in raising your kids that they don't like The Expanse?
It's too gritty and realistic.
I'm sorry. I apologize to the world for raising sci-fi and sensitive children.
Just hand them the books.
Oh, yeah, that worked. I bought that book, and I'm like, fuck this. I'm not reading it. It sucks.
What?
Yeah, I hated the books. I only got past the first 30 pages.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. Couldn't do it. Love the show, though. Love the show.
We found what's wrong.
Bye, guys.
Good night.
Oh my god, she's back.
All right. I'm going to say we'll be back next week. And we will see you all then. And maybe we'll make some hot buttered rum. I don't know. Later, everyone. Bye, everybody.
Ciao.
Oh, meta show in an hour. Don't miss it.
Yep.
All right. Bye.